Hey, God,
Hey girl, what's up? How are you?
God, you know what? I don't know what it is, but the vibes, it's giving.
It's giving. It's giving.
Giving very much. Lifing that's out the window. You know what
Thank
I'm saying?
God.
It was a struggle about
Bumping
for a minute.
heads.
It
Yeah.
was. And I was like, mm-mm. How many more months do we have left in the year? We have, what's now, we're in September? Yeah, y'all
Too
thought
many. Too many.
that,
Too
but
many.
that I was like, we're gonna wrap that up and we're gonna, smooth
ASAP.
sailing.
Yes.
Smooth. Yeah,
Yes. I'm
respectfully.
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
I feel like the word for this week is productive. Productive.
Love that. Me
Productive.
too.
Finishing things, check, check, check. Like I have a list
Okay.
every day. I have my cute little list, and I'm checking, and highlighting things. So I feel good. Okay,
Me too. Me
it's
too.
giving adult. It's giving
It's
responsible.
giving. It's giving girl boss. It's giving.
Yes, and I love that for us.
I do
Okay.
too. I do too.
Yes.
So for today's topic, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like we haven't touched the the dating, the feelies. We haven't got in our feelies
We
in a minute.
we said we were gonna do like a dating series. We
Hmm.
haven't really tapped into that. Not yet. So I
We
feel like
have,
this is a good time to hop in that bag. Like hop in the bag. So the topic for this week is what? Lay it on me. Lay it on me.
so we're talking about love bombing. That's
Love
what we're gonna talk
bombing.
about today.
That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
So for first, before we jump, um,
Okay.
for the audience, because I always think it's worth like providing some like context and like a
Okay.
description
Yeah.
so
So,
people know like what is that. So love bombing, what does that mean? I looked online, cute little research, nothing heavy, and it says that it's an emotional like manipulation that involves giving excessive compliments, attention, or like affection. And that typically will lead to controlling that person. So the goal is to control you, and they'll start by giving you all of the love and attention and affection that you really want. They'll tell you things you want to hear. They'll Everything is perfect, it's beautiful, it's awesome, right?
too soon. They do it too soon. Like,
Too soon. Yes. So like the way I simply describe it is doing too much too fast. Doing too much too fast.
yeah, we
Too
gotta, we
much
gotta
too
be.
fast.
I know you in your feelings, and we gotta like.
Watch that. Watch that.
Mm, yeah.
Be careful out here because people are playing games. Let's be real.
Yeah.
When it comes to dating and things like that, people are like manipulating, controlling, um, like a puppeteer. They are pulling strings. They are not genuine.
Oh,
Okay?
that's real. And
So you gotta be careful.
I think the one thing, like, if I want to be like real about my feelings, one thing is like, okay, if you saying that to me that easily already, who else are you saying it to? Because it feels a little rehearsed. Is that rehearsed? Or you,
Say
or you
that.
really feeling me? Are you feeling me? Or are you
Say
telling
that.
other people? Are you telling other people the same thing? What is it?
Okay. Okay. And I think it's worth mentioning because I saw it online too, but I already knew this. Typically, when someone is love bombing you, that is a trait or a characteristic of a narcissist, someone who is a narcissist. Okay. So I want to also like give people examples, like an example of that. So an example could be that person right away. I love you. Real fast, like second date.
Oh,
Already they have, like they caught feelings heavy and it's love. Whoa. It's
oh,
too fast.
little bit.
Now, let me back up. Because I recognize you have some situations, some people, some relationships and marriages that are successful, and that happens. But that is an exception to the rule. That is not typically how it goes. I just want to
Yeah.
point that out because yes, people do fall in love fast. It happens.
Yeah, it does.
However, more than likely, that is not your situation. It's not.
You know what? It's like it's hard. Like it's hard because like I think a lot of people want to believe in love,
They
and
do.
that itself is a human reaction.
It
You know what I'm
does.
saying? So
Yeah.
it's like there are people that out here that fall in love and then they get married in like a month, and that marriage lasts
Oh, it lasts,
forever.
baby. Forever. And it happens.
And
And
I'm
that's why
like,
I wanted to make sure that I pointed it out because I don't want to give the wrong impression or make people feel a little bit or insulted. Like, hey, my aunt and my uncle, they did it and they're fine. Yes, it happens. They are exceptions to the rules. That is not typically how it goes. You know what I mean?
I think now that like I'm older, and I think wait a minute, let me sign this accurately. When someone is very intentional about you from the get-go, you
Yeah.
know, and
Mm-hmm.
when they're like, you're gonna be my wife someday, and they could probably say that on the first date, and because and when that remains consistent.
Are they
You know what I'm
moving
saying?
with intention? And
Intention.
I feel like I don't want to jump because we will get to that. But you are absolutely right. There's a
Right.
difference between someone moving with intention and someone who is not genuine.
Hmm.
And that can be the hard part, trying to decipher and figure out which one. Okay?
I think
So go ahead.
I think like I love where we're at. I don't want to jump. I want to like
I know, it's hard
wait.
because I'm enjoying this topic. I
Yeah.
like it. Go
But
ahead.
like you can see, I think, with like the language they use, you gotta pay attention to that. Like there's two different things that like people will say. Um, we're gonna go with the flow, and then you have some people where you're like, I'm okay with where we're going. Let's see. That's like you see, boom, 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 boom. They're okay with like letting things fall. And then the flow is like it's casual, and it's not really a plan. It's not really intentional. It's just like you're just going in the motions of things. But then if someone's like, I love where we're going, and this is where we're going. This is where we're going, and
Mm-hmm.
then this is going to happen next. And then when next does come, it comes, and you're like, oh,
They're
I love
hitting the
that.
milestones.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me submit this. When it comes to love bombing, that person is usually moving way too fast. too fast. Like, slow down, slow down. It's not rational, it's not logical how fast they're moving. So like other examples is this person is buying you very expensive gifts and it's like day 2. They don't know you well enough. And where's it coming from? You know, and it's so fast that you have to like stop for a moment, even though it feels good and you're flattered and all that. You're like, wait a minute. When you feel that, wait a minute, that lets you know something's off. It's not genuine. It's rushed. It's too much, too fast. You know what I
we
mean?
don't pay attention. We miss that. Wait, and that's
I don't know.
all.
I feel like you sense it, but you ignore it because you feel good and you're enjoying the
You
gifts.
feel good. You feel
feel
good. You're
good.
excited. You're excited. You're like, oh,
You're excited, yes, but even in your excitement, you are not behaving that way. Like, if we could back up and pause and like put a comparison. Even though you are excited, you still wouldn't be doing all of that. That is the red flag. That is what you pay attention to. That is what you say, hold up. I'm excited. I like you too. But you know what I'm saying? This is the moments where like they're offering to fly you out. Let's go on trips. Like they're selling you dreams. Okay? You know, it's flattery. It's not real. It's not tangible. You know, like it's excessive compliments. It's excessive flattery. It's excessive praise. It's excessive promises to the point where you're like you yourself are like, wait a minute. That feeling is probably real. You're probably feeling that feeling for a reason. It's your intuition telling you, hold up, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel genuine. And I think there's something really special, innate in all of us. I feel like God has given us something special. We know when something doesn't feel right. You can't put your finger on it. You don't know exactly what, but you know something's not right. Something's not adding up. The math is not mathing. That.
Often I will notice like when it's too late and I'm like, I knew.
Dang it.
Why I knew.
Dang it.
Why wasn't I
Dang it.
listening to what I knew?
Because it felt good. It feels good to be complimented. It feels good to be flattered. It feels good.
Detention.
It feels great. It really builds up your self-esteem, especially if you look for like validation in other people. Now, if you're already feeling, you know, you already have like good self-esteem and it's not something that is external, you're not seeking external validation, then I feel like people who are already in a good place and they know like the confident, they have that strong self-validation, they immediately are like, no, what are you doing? But when you have those cracks and you're not really completely 100% confident and you do appreciate and look for external validation, it's easy to get caught up. It's easy. And so many of us have fell victim to that. It happens. This is not in any way to make you feel bad or feel like, dang, like that happened to me. It happens to many people. Like a lot of people become victims to this. This is a real thing that's out there, that's happening right now in this dating arena, and it's scary. I hate to say it, but it's very scary. People are playing with people's emotions, they're playing with people's time, they're playing with people's minds. You know, like it's sad, but it's real. So I feel like it's worth for us to have a conversation, talk about it, and like warn people, let you know, like these are like some things to look out for.
Mm,
And I'll be the first to say it can be very hard to spot it right away
I agree. I agree.
because that new relationship feeling, that new dating feeling, it's so good, it's fun, it's exciting, and you may miss it.
You
You
might.
because if you're anything like me, you're like, of course this person loves me. Of course. Of course. You know what I mean? Like if you have that mindset of course this person likes me, of course I'm likable. Of course they feel strongly about me or they're into me. I'm lit. You know, that if you have that mindset, it can be easy to like convince you or it may be easy for you to miss it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
I mean, but there's also like I think you gotta find that healthy balance of okay, I know this is love bombing. I know this. But but also it's like some of the people you date need words of affirmation. So it's like,
Facts.
oh, so how do
Facts.
I give? I want to give words of affirmation, but I don't want to give words of affirmation like, ooh,
I love
you
that you
know,
asked that and you mentioned that. I think it comes back to genuine. You can give someone words of
mm,
affirmation and be genuine with it. So if it's new, you don't know that person well enough. What have you already seen? What have they demonstrated or showed you that you can actually speak to and say? If they haven't shown you that they are the most amazing person in the world, why are you saying that? You see what I'm saying? If
mm,
they have not shown you that they meet all of your expectations and they're everything that you dreamed of, why would you say that? Keep it genuine, keep it real, keep it authentic. You can
mm,
say, wow, you seem like you're an amazing person. You seem very generous. You seem very considerate. You can say things that are true, that are real. What that person has already shown you, you can definitely compliment and acknowledge
yeah.
and tell them those things.
Like sometimes I say things, and I be like, you know what? I really like your smile. Like if I'm thinking about it today, I'm like, oh,
You
well,
can keep it real.
I love that you texted me today. I was like, woo, oh,
Right. Those things are real. But when it becomes like, I
yeah.
have been looking for you my whole life and you're on date 2 or 3. How? You don't know me. You don't know me. There's no way. It's impossible for you to say things like that. So it's like paying attention to what the person is saying and then asking yourself, why would they say that? What are they trying to get from me? You know?
Saying so much, giving so
Protect
much,
yourself.
telling so
Yeah.
much so soon. It's like, okay, I,
Yes.
I love this. This is nice. Your words are nice, but I need to know: are you for real?
Are you
I need
for
to
real?
know: are you for real?
You about that?
Are you about that life? Because you can preach, preach, preach,
And
preach,
that's
preach
what I
all
know.
day. You can preach all day and say all
Show
these
me
nice
something.
things,
I'm
but I
trying to
need.
trying to
Mm,
see something. Trying to see something. You know what I mean? That I
hmm
think that's another thing that helps too is paying attention to that person's actions and not just paying attention to their words. And that can be tricky. It can be tricky. I'm not gonna lie. But pay attention to their actions and how they show up over an extended period of time. Not in the beginning when it's short and it's new and it's
Are
exciting.
they consistent?
After that,
Are you consistent with that? Like
consistency.
I've never had a friend said, you know, my partner buys me. flowers every Tuesday. And he did that when we started dating, and he continued that. And that's flowers all the
Continue.
time every Tuesday. Oh,
It
like
was
whatever.
genuine.
It, wa-
Yeah,
it was that was you. That was you. Oh, that's you. Oh,
that was you.
that that.
Yeah. I think it's important to call out that when it comes to love bombing, in the beginning it's great, it's beautiful, it's exciting, it feels good, there's flattery and all kinds of gifts, there may be promises and praise and compliments and all of that, but realistically that fades and it changes over time and it becomes very, and I want to call out one word you said earlier, unhealthy. It becomes unhealthy and it becomes controlling and distant and cold and sometimes mean.
Yeah. And then you find yourself asking them, I thought you did, but you were doing this, and then you did this, but you're not doing this anymore.
Why
Oh,
the
you did that to get
change?
me?
You
You
don't
did
like
that to
me
get me.
anymore?
Oh,
Your feelings changed about me?
oh.
You start to question yourself and question how
Mhm.
that person feels about you. So they change from 0 to 100 and then back to 0. And it's like, whoa.
You're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute,
And you're
what?
confused. You're genuinely confused because you bought
And,
into it. You thought that
yeah.
person was being genuine. You thought that was real. And then later you realize, oh,
Oh.
and you're confused. You're like, wait a minute, what's going on? That
And
is typically the result of love bombing.
that feeling feels so like
Horrible. Horrible.
awful, awful. It's icky, and then you're like, and then you feel even worse because you're like, okay, should I leave this? I already know it's not healthy. Do I leave it, or will? And then you have hope. Okay, maybe they'll go back to what they used to do, and then it. Just becomes a cycle.
By that time, you're in too deep.
Already,
You're
yeah,
already in love or you've already caught feelings. They've already convinced you and you're
yeah,
in, you know? Um I want to like just briefly kind of touch on like signs. So, I think we kind of touched on this already, but I think it's worth mentioning because I feel like it's the most obvious one. If it's too good to be true.
period,
Like
period.
you feel like, wait a minute, it's too good. It probably
Mm,
is. It
what?
probably is. It
Mhm.
probably is. If that person always agrees with you, everything you say is yes, 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 yes. I
Mm-mm.
agree. That's not normal.
Every time though.
Every time. That's not normal. That is an agreeable, like an agreeable person, that is probably someone who is not being genuine with you. That's a yes man or a yes woman, someone you're dating or you're interacting with, and everything you say is right and great and true.
Hmm.
No, no.
I
You want
mean,
someone to have their own opinion and maybe disagree with you respectfully, of course, but they should sometimes like disagree with you. They should disagree with you. Y'all not the
I
same. Y'all
mean,
not the same person.
right? And I mean, sometimes I think we often overlook, like, or not really rationalize with the concept that it's okay to have disagreement. Like, honestly, it's okay to disagree. Okay, disagree,
You have to be an
disagree,
adult about it
debate,
and be
the
respectful. That's
conversation,
it.
that conversation, conversation. Oh, oh, that's how we come together. It's
Me
okay.
and you disagree all the time on this platform. Like we are sometimes we are complete opposites.
We
Complete
are.
opposites. And
We are.
like that's fine. That's okay. That's okay. You can do that.
It works
Respectfully.
well. It works well. I
I
mean,
know that you're being yourself, and you know I'm being myself. Like, you know, I'm not just out here like kissing your butt and trying to make you happy, obviously. And then vice versa. Like, it's the same thing.
yeah.
People are not always going to agree with you, and that is okay. Not only is it okay, you probably should want that. And I feel like that kind of raises the question, do opposites attract, or do birds of a feather kind of like flock
Yes,
together? You know what I mean? I think
but
it
you
can be
know,
both. But I do appreciate opposites attract a little bit more. Me personally. That's all. Hmm.
but I want to say this, like, you don't have to be with someone that always agrees with you.
That's boring.
Sometimes you can be wrong, and it's okay to be wrong.
Amen. Amen.
Okay,
Sometimes you are wrong. Let's say that. Not just that you can be wrong. Sometimes you are wrong.
and then you can sit
You're
down and be like,
human.
you know what? You can be like, you know what? You're right. I'm wrong. Yeah. Let me
And
sit
you
with that
need
for a minute.
that partner that can like chisel you and like help you grow in different ways, and that has a different perspective from you, that can help you see things from a different vantage point. I think that is really a beautiful thing. And if it's done the right way, respectfully, and all of that, it's an amazing thing. Like, you don't want someone who's just like whatever you say. Like, no, that's so
No.
boring. How
Yeah.
do you grow? You know? Um,
And I think honestly, with like disagreements or seeing different perspectives, it's healthy. It's how
it's
we
very
grow.
healthy. It's
It's
very
how
healthy.
it's how we learn.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm
I
right,
agree.
right, right all the time, how am I gonna learn? How am I gonna grow? How's our partnership gonna blossom if
Right.
we don't, you know what I mean? If we don't
Mm-hmm. You
try to
said it. You
communicate,
said it.
communicate
Yeah.
really. It's gotta be like what's it, transactional. Give, give, give,
Yes.
give, give. I can't do it.
Okay. Another sign I think is if that person wants to take all of your time and they want to isolate you from your family, your friends, and the people that love you, that's probably not a good sign. And they probably have some interior. I hope that's the right word.
Motive.
Ulterior
Ulterior motive.
motives. There you go. Thank you. If that person is like irrationally jealous, like, oh my gosh, why is that person looking at you? I don't know. I can't control someone's eyes, baby.
Oh.
I look good. I look good. Like, what you mean? You know, if a person is jealous and like they pop off over little things that are completely out of your control, don't like, that's not a good
It's
sign.
irrational.
That it's not a good sign. Um if they're doing like grand gestures, they're buying you very expensive gifts, or they're doing things that wouldn't make sense so soon. Like, for example, I think I mentioned earlier, but like trips, they want to go on trips on like the first and the second and the third date. Y'all don't know each other well enough to be going
You want to
out
go
of the
to
country.
no. Who would you? No.
That, and that can be very dangerous to your safety, physically, emotionally, spiritually.
Right.
We don't gotta get into that, but like, you gotta be
But you know,
careful.
Tasia and I did mention this in our like previous episode where it's like I still share my location with my girls.
Still.
So I have age
Still.
implication, Tasha has mine. So if I go out and she don't hear from
Still.
me for a minute, yo, and that's a very like scary thing.
It
No, being a
is.
woman and going out with someone new is
That's
like,
the world that we live in today. We live in a
yeah,
world that's very dangerous, that can be
it
very
is.
scary. And you do have to take precautions just to make sure you're okay. And it's part of it, and I hate that for us. I do. But when it comes to things like dating, things like that, you do have to take some extra measures, some extra steps just to make sure you're okay, you're safe, you're good, you good, sis? You good? You know
Mm,
what I mean? So if you was to come
yeah.
to me and be like, "Oh, I met this guy. He's great. He has money. Let's use that as an example. He got money. He wants to fly me out to, I don't know, Bali." I'm like, "Hold up. Hold up.
Wait a minute.
Wait a
What
minute.
are we doing?
Who?
Mm,
How long have you known him? What do
uh,
you know about him? Have you met
have you
his family?
I just about have you met his
Has
family?
your family met him?
Mm,
I got questions. You know what I mean?
uh,
Because some things is too fast, too soon. And
you're
I
right.
think that's like the underlying point that we're making here when it comes to love bombing is more often than not, these things, there's nothing wrong with compliments. Okay? I never want to make it seem like that's a negative thing. There's nothing wrong with praise or someone recognizing your worth or someone appreciating you or someone just wanting to tell you how great you are. There's nothing wrong with that. That is a beautiful
Mm,
thing. You find someone who does that, hold on to them. Okay? But if they're doing it without actually knowing you, you know
yeah,
what I mean? They don't
I
know
think
how Tori actually operates, how Tori actually thinks, how you move. How can they say things like that genuinely? It's too fast, it's too soon.
but like I said,
Mm-mm.
like I said, you can show some words of affirmation. Like absolutely.
As
Here and
long as
there.
it's real,
Sprinkle,
yeah.
sprinkle. You know what I mean? Do that. Add the
I
sauce
think you're
to it,
cute.
baby. Do it. Do it. You know what
You're
I
doing
mean?
your thing. I see you. Like, you can do it without it being too much. You can do
Excessive.
it. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think the key thing here is it excessive? Is it too much? Is it
Mhm.
not genuine? Just pay attention to those things. Is it too fast? Like,
Mhm.
reasonably, is it too fast? I can see if you've been, hanging out for some time and that person has genuinely started to develop feelings for you. They genuinely are starting to recognize who you are, your personality, how you do things, your mannerism, how you talk, and they have an appreciation for that. That's a real thing. Appreciate that. Love that for you. But like date 1, 2, 3, stop.
We pay
Stop.
attention to the
They
signs.
met your representative. They have not met you. They have not met you. You
Mhm.
have not done this. Most people don't do this until, some time.
Right?
And that's normal. That's a protective mechanism, defensive mechanism. It's okay. You don't have to reveal everything to someone right away. I think that's very normal. So yes, you will actually meet people's representative in the beginning, but after some time, that will slowly start to come off. And when that comes off, if they still feel that way about you, okay. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
Okay, let's
Go.
go. Let's go. What it do, boo?
So I think this is like a good place to wrap up because
It's a
this is a
great
series.
place. I think we touched on everything. Like, I'm hoping
Yes.
that it helps our audience feel more comfortable kind of deciphering and like navigating that part. Like, let us know if you have any questions. We're here to talk about it, but hopefully that helps in any way. That's my hope. That's my prayer.
We want to hear you in the comments. We
We
want to hear.
do. We do.
So
Yeah.
we already know what I'm gonna say.
Yes.
Until
Yes.
next time. Bye.
Bye.